SEC Media Day, catching up with part of the Ole Miss Rebels and junior wide receiver in Cayden Lee. Appreciate you joining us, bud.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
What's this like? What is getting to experience an SEC Media Day? And oh, by the way, you're not too far from home.
I know I'm about 35 minutes from my house, so I might just pop home after this. But no, it's been amazing so far. I've seen it all the way growing up since I was in high school, so it's a privilege to be able to be here.
You look at what Ole Miss was last season, a really spectacular year. What is the biggest takeaway that you have from last year, being a sophomore, but being heavily involved in that offense?
Last year I was kind of just figuring out the player that I was on the field, and now I feel like I have a really good understanding of what I can do, the things that I can improve on, and I'm just gonna take the mental notes into next season.
So kind of touching on that a little bit, what was something that after getting a lot of playing time and playing and making some big catches and playing a big role in your games last year, what were some things that you kind of felt like you needed to improve on going into the spring and this off season?
Yeah, this past year I feel like I was a little bit smaller, so I picked up some weight. I've gained about 15 pounds now, so I feel like that's really a big improvement for myself. And I just feel like focusing on yards after the catch is a big thing for me. So I'm looking forward to that this upcoming year.
The biggest thing that everybody's talking about around this Ole Miss team is Jackson Dart finishing up at Ole Miss. Now you're moving to Austin Simmons.
Mm.
What's the biggest part of what Austin Simmons brings that nobody knows about?
Well, I feel like it's something that everybody should know about, which is his smartness. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's 19 years old and he just graduated college.
Jeez.
So that's
Yeah, that's
that
impressive.
that man, he's smart.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive.
Hmm.
So, what is something that you were really looking forward to, I guess, this season and kind of seeing what you guys can do as a team?
Hmm.
Try to get over the hurdles of some of the things that maybe held you guys back just a little bit. So, what's something that you guys are kind of looking forward to and seeing how you guys respond this next season?
For us, we brought in a lot of new guys, so really just building that bond with each other and creating new relationships. And I feel like just being able to, I make a play, you make a play, pick the other side of the ball up is really real big for us this upcoming year.
Talk about the mentality of this team, and everybody says the cliche of everybody follows what their head coach does. Lane Kiffin has obviously been a big part of what Ole Miss has been the last couple of years. What is it that this team really gleans from Lane Kiffin and what he's able to bring to this team?
You know, um, he's big on just going 1-0 every day. I mean, everybody wants to be like, oh yeah, let's make an SEC championship, let's win a national championship, but you can't do that unless you go 1-0. You're getting better every day. If you lose game one, that doesn't set you up, so you got to go 1-0 every game and every day.
All right, so I have to ask.
Hmm.
So obviously we see all the kind of the back and forth on Twitter, and Coach Kiffin likes to troll people as
Yeah.
well and kind of give it back to him. So
Hmm.
what's it like kind of having him as a head coach? Does he kind of play around with you guys, but he's also got the respect of the team as well to kind of lead by example as well.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Kiffin, he's a player's coach. I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to have fun a lot of the time, but get work done at the same time, that's the school you need to go to. I mean, before practice, some days we'll have coaches doing one-on-ones and 7-on-7. The players are out there laughing, throwing water bottles on them, and coaches are trying to do drills. So it's amazing.
We've talked about the elevation of Ole Miss the last couple of years under Lane Kiffin and what that program has become. What is that next step for you
Mhm.
guys? What is next for Ole Miss and what the kind of trajectory is?
The trajectory of Ole Miss is just I feel like it's trending upward. It has been for a couple years now. We plan to just keep that going.
Is there something that you may feel in particular as a team that you guys need to maybe improve on or
Mhm.
improve on from last year to kind of take that next step? And I know there were multiple conversations about you guys in the college football playoffs for next year
Mhm.
or for this past year. Is there something or a hurdle maybe you guys got to get past that you feel like would kind of put you guys in a better spot in the driver's seat is controlling that destiny?
I feel like we're just gonna try to control our own destiny, like you said, and with a bunch of new guys that we brought in, our biggest thing that we're trying to focus on right now is just creating team chemistry,
Hmm.
bonding, getting to know one another, getting to get on the same page mentally with one another, just to be able to dominate on the field.
Talk about that with receiver room, and we talked about you being a big part of it last year. You lose a couple of guys out of that room that made key parts of that receiver room a year ago. Who were the guys that looked to take those steps?
We have a very talented receiver room now. We've brought in Deshaun Stribling, Trey Wallace from Penn State, Deuce Alexander, Caleb Odom, more guys. Trey, T. Ray, that's my guy. So I feel like as a receiver room, we haven't left off. I feel like we're gonna be the exact same room, even better maybe.
And talking about Caleb Odom, obviously young
Mm.
player coming in, big player
Yeah.
in stature as well. What kind of impact do you think he's going to be able to make kind
hmm
of right off the bat is with being such a big player in that kind of tight end wide receiver role?
Yeah, I mean he's versatile. You can put him at tight end. You can put him outside as an outside receiver. I mean, he's got some receiver reps at the slot as well. So I feel like he can do it all, which is it makes it hard for a defense to game plan. So I feel like that's big.
All right, I know we're starting off SEC Media Days. We've got the next 4 days going through all 16 teams, but you're setting the bar high as far as the drip, you
Hey,
got the bracelet, the
Shoe
shoes.
I
game.
appreciate that.
Where
Yeah.
did all of this get put together? Is this a you creation?
This is definitely a me creation. I am very big into the fashion. So that's me.
You
I
got
like
the
it.
pink bow tie.
I
That bow
know.
tie is on
Feathers.
point.
All right. That's what
Oh,
Colin even said
yes.
before you even came over to our table. He goes, I think Cayden, he was like, I saw him walk by, and I think Cayden may have already won the shoe game, and it's the very first
Thank
day.
you. I appreciate that.
So you got the silver sparkling shoes.
hmm
Where do these come from?
So these right here, the Cactus Plant Flea Market Platinum. Very hard to find.
That's amazing.
Very hard to find.
Going
What
into
about Coach Kiffin, real quick? I got to ask.
hmm
Has he got some good drip on today?
Let me think. I feel like he's a step below me,
Okay, step
but
below, of
he's
course,
up
of
there.
course.
But
Yeah.
he's definitely up there.
all right, who's the guy even around the league or in the team who, if they go all out,
Mm.
has the best dress?
Myself.
Okay, all right.
Myself.
I figured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Going into 2025, what are, and I'm not going to go with the traditional that you've gotten asked 1,000 times today of what's the goals for this team, but what's the biggest thing that you personally want to accomplish and want to see in 2025?
You know, I just really want to see us just play as a team for a 4-quarter game. I don't just want to just see us just dominate in the first quarter and then slack off in the third quarter. I want to see us play complete football games from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, and I feel like if we do that, it'll be hard to beat us.
Was there a certain game last year, obviously, with your role kind of being getting bigger? Was there a certain game last year from last year's season that was your favorite or your most memorable so far?
It definitely has to be the Georgia game, just because the storming of the field,
Yep.
tearing the goalpost down, and carrying it to the square. It was just that game was awesome.
Talking about that atmosphere at Vaught Hemingway Stadium, and I
Mhm.
think it's one that gets overlooked a lot around the SEC. But being there a couple of times over the last few years with Westwood One, it's been fun to see that environment. Talk about what it's like being on the field, being a part of a field storm,
Mhm.
being a part of all that goes around Ole Miss football.
Yeah, we have a terrific fan base. Our fans are amazing. They do a great job. They pack the vault every game. So they're always going to bring the energy. And as a player being on the field, seeing that stadium packed, that's awesome.
Cayden, appreciate you joining us. Good luck this season.
Mhm.
Wish all the best to you and the Ole Miss Rebels, and appreciate you joining us.
Thank you
buddy.
guys so much. Have a good day.
Once again, Cayden Lee, the Ole Miss Rebels junior wide receiver.